Jimmy Dore reporting live for the Young Turks in a
Hey,
casino. Oh, good for you, Jimmy.
Hey, can you
What's
guys
going
hear
on?
me? How you doing?
What's up?
So listen, I'm at the Paris Hotel, and so they had several caucus sites on the strip for workers because so if you lived if your caucus site was over 2 miles away from the hotel you worked at, they would allow you to caucus at the hotel you worked at. So I'm at Paris Casino, and they caucused here at the Versailles Room, and let me just say, first of all, I've gotten a lot of reports from Bernie Sanders supporters saying that they weren't allowing uh, they weren't allowing Bernie Sanders campaign workers to come and campaign inside the casino at the break rooms, but they were allowing Hillary Clinton campaign workers to come inside and campaign at the break rooms. I've heard that from several nurses. So the nurses were out in force for Bernie Sanders. In fact, when we were coming down to the caucus room, we saw one of the Bernie campaign workers. They were trying to arrest him right in the lobby of the hotel, and a bunch of nurses surrounded him, and they wouldn't let the cops get at him. We have video of that.
They're doing a rally here at the Paris Hotel for Bernie Sanders. This is a caucus location. That's the organizer, and the Paris security wants to arrest him. So he's with the nurses, and what they've done is they've surrounded him. The nurses have created a human shield around him so that they can't arrest him. See the security? See, they're waiting to arrest him. Who? The security. The security right here. They're waiting to arrest him. There was a gentleman here earlier that they wanted to arrest for trespassing. Can you tell me what that was all about?
He is on the Bernie campaign, and he has been, I guess, outlawed from this casino, versus Hillary has had open access to the break rooms, all her campaign people. And on caucus day, he's legally available, has the right to come, but the rest of the time he has not been able to come. But the owner of the casino is for Hillary and has allowed open access to the workers' break rooms all the time. And again, that's not, we need, education. People need to know about Bernie, then they can make their own decision.
They also, the last time there was a caucus, only 117,000 people showed out to caucus, and they expected an even lower turnout this year because the Culinary Union has not endorsed anyone. So they don't have a dog in this fight per se, and so they're not encouraging people to come out. So now here in Paris, at the Paris Hotel, it just went 13 delegates for Hillary and 6 delegates for Bernie. And let me tell you something. It was the most chaotic process I've ever seen. People really didn't know what they were doing. They had to do two things. They had to count everybody in the room, and then they had to make sure they chose their delegates. And they forgot to choose their delegates before everybody left. But I think they got that straightened out. So we're at the Paris Hotel, 13 delegates for Hillary, 6 delegates for Bernie. There's some reports of shenanigans with letting Bernie's workers in the break rooms. We'll get to the bottom of that. But what is that? What are the reporting saying right now, Cenk?
So right now, Hillary Clinton with 0.4% lead with 12% reporting.
Okay, so I talked to someone from the Congo today who was caucusing for Hillary Clinton from the Congo.
With the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Literally from that, she had 3 people from the Congo who work in Las Vegas that were also caucusing for Hillary. And I said, well, how do you feel about Medicare? And she was like, well, I'm for Medicare for all. So it's like they're for Hillary's position, for Bernie's positions, yet they're still caucusing for Bernie, which was kind of surprising. I saw a few people say that. So It was I was trying to get the pulse of why exactly would you go that way instead of this way if you're both liberals, and it didn't seem to make sense.
Unfortunately, I'm not at all surprised by that. There's a ton of misinformation out there, and usually a lot of the voters have no idea the policy positions of the two sides. They have a rough sense of, that guy's more liberal or that person's more electable, etc. So you've been there a little while, Jimmy. Any broad, general thoughts on, good reporting on the stuff that's going on today, but and I know it's super anecdotal, but general thoughts on what's going on in the
Well, just anecdotally, it just seemed from what I've seen here at this caucus site and what was happening inside the Paris casino. And I talked to some nurses who said that at all the caucus sites around Las Vegas, they were getting harassed a little bit by security at the casinos or the cops. And because they're being a little, the Bernie's nurse supporters are being a little louder. They're chanting as they went through the casino. They're not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to campaign inside of a casino, but that's okay on caucus day, from what I was told. And they still tried to arrest the Bernie campaign worker for being in the building. That's all he did, was be in the building. So it seems to me, Cenk, the sense I got was the owners of the casino were on Hillary's side. And so that's what it seemed like. So this casino is owned by Caesar's Palace, which also owns the MGM, which also, they own like 12 casinos. So it's like the Strip is owned by 3 different companies now, right? So it's exactly what's wrong with the country is being revealed in this caucus, right? Here, the owner class is on Hillary's side, and the working class are, unless they have been duped, are on Bernie's side.
Yeah, no, and again, to be fair, a lot of the unions are on Hillary Clinton's side. But to be fair to Bernie Sanders, they didn't poll their members. Their members didn't vote. The leadership of those unions did, but not the nurses.
Not the nurses. The
but
nurses are on board, and they're vocal.
But Jimmy, to be fair, the nurses are a notoriously dangerous subset.
The nurses undermine democracy. But you know what? The thing I love about it, just being in Vegas, is to see all the people who bring their infants with them to Vegas. Because you know how much infants love Las Vegas, Cenk.